Okay. So hi Brenda, so great to meet you. I'm Amanda with the Davis team.
Hi,
How are
Amanda.
you?
It's great to meet you.
Great, awesome. So today we're going to do a home buyer consultation.
Okay.
And we're going to go through the process of what it takes to buy a home. We're going to
Okay.
talk about three things today.
Okay.
Financing,
Yes.
home search, and home shopping. And then
Okay.
we're going to talk about what happens after we go under contract till close.
Okay.
Does
It's
that sound
exciting.
good?
Yeah. Sounds great.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm excited to buy my first home.
So your first time home buyer.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
What do you want to know?
I would just like to know, when are you looking to move?
Well, my lease is up in June.
Okay.
So ideally, June.
Okay, is it beginning, middle, end?
I think the 30th. I think
30th?
the end.
Okay,
I think
great.
the end.
Okay, perfect. And so do you currently how long have you been at your job or?
I've been at my job a little over 2 years, maybe about 2.5.
Great. Okay. And what's making you wanted to take the leap into home purchasing?
Oh, I want a house. I want a house. I'm tired of an apartment.
Tired of renting.
Tired of
Great.
renting.
I can understand that. Great. Okay, perfect. So Brenda, whenever since you are new to first-time home buyer, have you had the opportunity to look into financing, or will you be paying cash for your home?
Well, I won't be paying cash. My sister's a banker, so she kind of ran some numbers. So
Okay.
I kind of know where I think I want to be in the ballpark.
Okay.
You know, I kind of know my price range, and I haven't talked with a lender
You haven't
yet.
talked with a lender yet. Okay,
Right.
great. So I have a few lenders that I can give to you once we're done with our buyer consultation. I
Okay.
can send you an email with their information.
Oh,
And
that
I
would
can
be
also
great.
get your information at the end of our meeting as well to send to them so that they can reach out to you as
Okay.
well.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, awesome. So tell me, how long you say you've been at your job for 2 years,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And are you a W-2 employee or are you self-employed?
W-2, I guess. I work for a company.
Okay, great, perfect. And so, do you happen to know, like, roughly what your credit score is?
Not really.
No? Okay. Do you, so typically in this market, especially seller's market, we need to have funds for down payment and closing costs.
Okay.
So since you have a number in mind of where you would be as far as price point when you talk to your sister,
All right.
that number would be roughly 6% of the sales price that you would need. So minimum down payment is 3% plus 3% for closing costs. So do
Okay.
you happen to have those funds in your account or through a 401k?
They're in my 401k.
Okay,
I
so
just
you
need
would be
to-
willing to take those out of your 401k
Oh yeah,
if needed?
absolutely. That's what it's there for.
Awesome, perfect. And so are you familiar with the different types of loans that are out there?
No.
Okay, so there's basically three types of loans that you might qualify for. So the first
Okay.
one is a conventional loan.
Okay.
And so the minimum down payment on that is 3%, and it
Okay.
goes all the way up to 20% or more if you have
Okay.
more that you want to put down.
Okay.
And then there is an FHA loan,
Okay.
which a lot of first-time home buyers choose FHA as an
Okay.
option. It's 3.5% down payment.
Okay.
And then there is a VA, which would be for veterans. So are you a veteran by chance?
I'm not.
Okay. So we would be looking at either the conventional or
Okay.
the FHA.
Okay.
There are a few other loan options out there, such as USDA loans that you would qualify for possibly if you wanted to live out in the country.
Oh no.
No? Okay.
No.
And there are also some grant programs out there as well. You say
Okay.
you have the money for your down payment and closing costs, so I
Right.
probably wouldn't put you towards a lender that does grant
Okay.
programs to start off with, but we do have some options if we
Okay.
need to explore that later on
Okay.
down the road if you would
Great.
like some assistance with down payment and closing costs.
I've got the money.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. They typically charge a higher interest rate to go that
Okay.
route, so I would probably start off with going the
Okay.
conventional route first.
perfect.
Awesome. Okay, great. So, like I said, I'm going to get you in touch with a couple of lenders
Okay.
that I work with. One is Keller Mortgage.
Okay.
So the cool thing about Keller Mortgage is that they don't charge any fees that typical lenders charge, such as origination fee.
Okay.
They don't charge any processing fees, and as
Okay.
long as you're financing over $150,000,
Right.
they will give you a credit of $1,000 back at closing.
Well, that sounds good.
They're also offering really good rates right now. So right
Okay.
now, if I have a buyer who has been pre-approved with somewhere else, they can get pre-approved for a little bit less of an interest
Wow.
rate with Keller Mortgage. Sometimes even a
Oh.
whole percentage point less.
Wow.
So I would definitely am going to get you in
Okay.
touch with
Yes.
our preferred loan officer with Keller Mortgage, because they offer a really great first time home buyer 3% down conventional loan package
Oh.
that might be perfect for you.
That sounds great.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So I also recommend that while you're talking with Keller Mortgage, I'm going to send you our other lender with which is Cole with Bridgewater Loans. You can kind of
Okay.
talk to him as well. He's a local lender.
Okay.
So I'm also going to recommend that you shop around for home loans, because
Okay.
your mortgage companies, when you start shopping around with different mortgage companies, kind of similar to buying a car,
Okay.
it won't hit your credit as long as you're doing it within a small time frame, like 2 to 3, 4 weeks. I think it's
Okay.
30 days at the most.
Okay.
So when you're doing your loan shopping, you want to make sure that you're
Okay.
calling lenders roughly around the same 30-day time frame,
Okay.
so that your credit doesn't take a hit every
Okay.
time. Because
Okay.
then the credit bureaus will see your loan shopping, and so it won't affect your credit as
Okay.
much. Does that make sense?
Oh, it does. Okay.
Perfect. So if you have a credit union that you do business with, or your sister has someone that they want to recommend to help you, I would just stay away from the bigger banks.
Okay.
Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, they tend to have a reputation in our industry of being kind of difficult to deal with, in terms of you're more of a number than a name. They don't always close on time, and so when we get in out there and start sending offers, we're going to get a pre-approval letter, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. But typically, sellers don't like to see those letters from big banks. They would prefer a local lender or a smaller lender, more somebody that they can get on the phone and talk to if they have any questions. Does that make sense?
It does.
So it's not as easy to do that when we're going with more of a corporate type lender, such
Okay.
as Chase or Bank of America.
Okay. Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah, so stick with local, small banks and local lenders for that.
Okay. Perfect.
And
And you'll send me the info for that?
absolutely.
Okay.
You will get the info in the email today with their contact information. Like I said, I'll also send a reciprocal email to them with your contact information, so they can reach out as well.
Okay. Great.
So do you know the difference between pre-qualification versus pre-approval? Do you kind of understand what that is about?
Can you explain that?
Sure. So pre-qualification means that basically you're going to fill out an application, and you're going to they're going to run your credit, and they're going to say yes, she's good to go, or no, she's not. And it's a
Okay.
very simple yes or no. It usually can get you a pre-qualification letter in 30 minutes to an hour.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But we want to take you from pre-qualification to pre-approval.
Okay.
So that's a little bit more in depth. The lender's going to request your W-2s, like your pay stubs. They're going to
Okay.
request your tax documents, like your income tax returns for the past
Sure.
few years. They're
Okay.
going to ask for like bank statements, and since you're using your 401k, maybe a statement showing how much
Okay.
money you have in your 401k as far as
Okay.
assets go. So that's a little bit of a process gathering all that information. But what they do is they take that information, they verify that what you put on your application is actual. This is how much money she makes. They analyze your debt to
Okay.
income,
Gotcha.
and then they run you through what's called underwriting.
Okay.
So that underwriting looks at everything and says, yeah, she's good to go. There's no
Okay.
issues. So we have like a firm, you are pre-approved.
Okay.
So when they give us a letter, and so then
Yes.
when we submit offers, we're telling that seller she just needs a house.
Okay.
She is
wow.
100%
Okay.
approved.
Gotcha.
Everything is good on her end as far as financing. We should have no hiccups. And now we just need a house.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I also offer too, when I submit offers, for the listing agent to contact your lender in case
Okay.
they should have any questions as well when they're reviewing your offer.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure. Sounds good.
Perfect. So any questions about the financing process so far?
No.
Okay.
If you'll give me numbers,
And-
I'll call,
yeah,
or hopefully they'll call me.
Absolutely, and the
Yeah.
sooner the better, because we really don't need to start looking, or don't want to start looking at houses until you have your pre-approval
Okay.
in hand.
Okay.
So it is good to start the process
Okay.
as soon as possible, so that we can start looking at houses as soon as possible, because June will be here before you know it.
Yeah, it will. Okay. Yeah.
So now we're going to move into the next step, which is home shopping.
Okay.
So today I want to find out like what you're looking for. Give me
Okay.
every little detail. If I were to say, Brenda, I want you to describe your dream home, what would it look like?
Okay. Okay, so I have a geography, like a really pretty tight geography
Okay.
where I want to live.
Okay.
So in Arlington, between like Park Row and 303,
Okay.
and Bowen and Davis.
Okay.
This, they're older neighborhoods, like built in the 50s and 60s.
Mhm.
So geography is really important. I love that area. They're in my price range, and I feel very safe there. Most of them, I mean, I don't need big and fancy. Just, 3 bedroom, 2
Okay.
bath. garage, would like a garage.
Okay.
That's kind of it. More probably updated
Okay.
versus 1950s.
Uh-huh.
That being said, I don't mind painting or anything or
Okay.
changing flooring. I'm good with that kind of stuff. I don't necessarily want to redo the kitchen or bathroom or anything.
Okay.
So if they're, I would like them updated.
Okay, perfect. So when we talk about this specific location, Arlington, why is that so important to you?
Just my family lives really close to there. My
Okay.
mom and sister and her family live there. Pretty close to my work, about 15 minutes from work, close to church. I grew up relatively close to there. It's a safe area and just pretty. I just like it there.
Okay, great. And what else?
What else?
Anything else about that area that's important to you?
No. Just I feel like it's really safe. And,
Okay.
I live alone, so
Yeah.
want to be in a safe area.
Perfect. So you're looking, you said for 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
Yeah.
If it's a 4-bedroom, would that be okay?
Sure. Oh, sure.
Okay. So we're gonna put 3+ and then 2+ baths.
Okay.
And why is the 3-bedroom important to you?
Really for resale.
Resale value, that makes sense. That's smart. Perfect. So with that, since we're talking along the lines of the size of the home, is there
Yeah.
a certain size you're looking for, like a minimum square footage that you want to stay, or a maximum you don't want to go above, or any kind of details regarding that?
Honestly, no. And most of them over there, I feel like are kind of similar in size. So,
Okay.
I don't really
So-
know. I want to stay away from the 2-bedrooms because I think they're itty bitty small. I think the 3-bedrooms.
So
it's
what-
just me. I don't need a giant
What do you think
house.
when you say really small? Like, what is a number? Like maybe 1,000 square feet? Is that
Yeah.
what we're getting at? So
Yeah.
we definitely need something that's over 1,000
Yeah.
square feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we want to shoot for over 1,000 square feet.
Yeah.
What is the size of the place you live in now?
My apartment is 650 square feet.
So okay, perfect. So
Yeah.
that would 1,000 or plus would definitely give you more
Give me more
more
space.
space than what you have
Prob-
now.
Probably realistically, 1,300 or 1,400 or more.
Okay.
Probably 13 to 18, maybe 2,000. Somewhere in
Gotcha.
there. I think
Okay.
I don't
Perfect.
know.
Perfect. And you mentioned that you're looking for a garage. So what's important about that to you?
Again, the safety. I'm one of those. I park my car in my garage. I don't want it for storage. I want it for my car.
Perfect. And does it need to be a 1-car garage, 2-car garage?
One is fine.
One
A lot of
is
those
fine.
houses over there just have a 1-car garage, and that's that works fine for me.
Okay, great. And is there anything else about the garage? Anything of importance or?
No, I would be great if it had a garage door opener.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. Perfect. And when you said updated, so you're good with minor updates, not looking for anything that's
I'm not looking to overhaul the kitchen or anything.
No, not a complete remodel, but
Not a
if it
complete
needed
remodel.
some small cosmetic
Yeah.
things, you're willing to do that.
Yeah,
Great.
absolutely.
Anything else about the updated part that you want to share with me that's important?
No.
Okay. And is there anything else that you're looking for in a home that you want to share?
No, not really.
Okay. And so what was the price that you had in mind when you talked with your sister?
Well, she kind of did that, debt to and income and what you make and how much of your income, it should be. So I'm thinking 180 to 200
Okay.
was kind of the numbers that she gave me. And she said, 200 is the top, don't go above that. So,
Okay. Great. So anything else that you want to share about your home search?
no, I'm excited to get started.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we definitely need to be in something by June of 2013.
That would be really,
Yeah,
yeah,
next 6 years,
wow,
apparently.
okay. Maybe this year, maybe June of this year.
There you go. Okay, great. So, have you been home shopping online? Doing any research online at all?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, what
Yeah.
websites have you been using?
Realtor and Zillow and Redfin.
Okay, great. So what I'm gonna do today, along with sending you the information on the lenders, is I'm gonna
Okay.
set you up on a search through the MLS.
Okay.
And so MLS stands for Multiple Listing System, and
Okay.
that is the system that all us agents use to input new homes for sale.
Okay.
If an agent has a home for sale, it goes into the MLS.
Okay.
And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you access to a portal today that's based off of the criteria that you have given me.
Okay.
And it will start automatically sending you homes
Okay.
that are currently on the market that are available that meet
Okay.
this criteria.
Perfect.
And I'm also gonna set it up to where every time a new home comes on the market, it will be emailed to you notifying you,
Okay.
hey, you need to go in and check your portal,
Oh.
there's a home on the
Okay.
market that meets this criteria.
Okay.
Okay? And so when you go in and you start looking through the pictures and seeing what you like and what you don't like, you can mark those that you really love with a heart.
Okay.
You can, if it's a possibility, just thinking about it, you can put a light bulb next to it, and
Okay.
if you don't like it at all, you can throw it in the trash.
Okay.
That way you can keep this list sorted out so it doesn't get overwhelming. And
Awesome.
you can remember, oh, I really like this one, so you can mark that so that
Okay.
you know. Also, if you have any questions about the home that you need to ask me, there's a notes option where you can put a quick
Okay.
note in, and then I can contact the listing agent if I need to get any further
Oh,
information on the home
great.
for you.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah.
And so whenever I set you up on the search and you start getting into your portal and marking those homes that you
Right.
like, I'll also be able to see through my portal on my
Okay.
computer, okay, Brenda logged in today and she marked these houses with
Okay.
hearts and these houses with light bulbs, and I'll be able to keep track of
Ah.
trends of what you're leaning
Okay.
towards. If I see you're really liking something, a particular style of home or particular feature in a home that I'm noticing, and especially when you go out and looking and you're saying I really like this or like this, I'll be able to also look for off-market listings
Okay.
as well through my market center
Oh, wow.
to see if there's anything maybe off-market that might meet your needs as well.
Sure. Great.
Okay, perfect. So, once you have your pre-approval letter, because that's first, when we
Okay.
get our list of homes that we want to start looking at, which is
Okay.
second,
Okay.
I'd like to know when you're available for showings.
Gosh, okay.
Like, what is it? Weekdays, weekends, evenings? What works best for you?
Weekdays after about 4 or 4:30.
Okay.
If it's something super great, I could probably meet you, to see, one house at lunchtime.
Okay.
And then, weekends.
Okay. So mainly weekends and evenings, and then
Yeah.
lunchtime if it's something that we
If
really
it's
wanna
something
do.
really urgent, because like I said, my work is only about 15 minutes from there. I couldn't see a bunch of houses at lunch, but if there's a really great one.
Okay, perfect. So what we're gonna do is when we get ready to start looking is we're gonna pick your top 5 or 6 that you really, really love, and we're gonna
Okay.
focus on those first,
Okay.
because my goal is for you to see out of those 5 homes, the one you wanna make an offer on.
Okay.
Maybe even find 2 you wanna make an offer on. We
Okay.
really wanna focus on the ones that you love.
Okay.
You're gonna see the pictures, so our purpose in going out and looking at the home is just to see and verify in person, yep, this is it, this is the home I wanna make an offer on. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Wow. Yeah, that's
So we're really
exciting.
gonna narrow this down and really focus on the ones that you absolutely love, and then we're just
Okay.
going out and verifying, yeah, I like this, or no, I don't like this, and then by the end of the day, we will hopefully have one that you wanna make an offer
Okay.
on. Sound
Sounds
good?
good. That sounds
Awesome.
great.
Okay, so with that being said, if you send me a house that does not meet the criteria that you've given me, maybe it hasn't been updated in a long time, or maybe it's above our price point, do I have your permission to not show you that home because it doesn't meet the criteria that you've given me?
Yes.
Awesome, that's great, because I really want us, it's a seller's market, and homes are selling rather quickly, and so we
Okay.
wanna focus on the ones that you love and that will check all your boxes, so that we are getting offers in on those
Okay.
as quickly as we can.
Okay.
Make
that sounds
sense?
Good. Yeah.
Awesome. So if you're ever out driving around and you see an open house sign,
Okay.
feel free to go in and take a look at the open houses,
Okay.
because you don't have to have an agent present with you when you go to
Oh,
see them. They're
okay.
open for anyone driving through to go by and take. Have you been to an open house since you started looking? Okay.
Well,
great.
not now, but
Yes, you've been
in
at
the
open
past.
house before. So yeah, I don't necessarily have to be with you in order for you to
Okay.
take a look at the house. And certainly if I have something going on, I wouldn't want you to have to wait
Okay.
to come look at the house if you think it's something that really might work for you. So go and check it
Okay.
out. Just
Okay.
let the agent hosting the open house know that you are working with me,
Okay.
and you feel free to give them my contact information to follow up. That
Okay.
way they won't be bombarding you Monday morning wanting to know if you want to make an offer. They'll call me.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
And it kind of the same goes for sale by owners. If you're ever
Okay.
out and about and you see a for sale by owner,
Right.
please feel free to take a picture of the sign and send
Okay.
it to me, and I'll contact that owner to see if they'd be willing to work with an
Okay.
agent to help you
Okay.
out with that.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and I forgot to ask you earlier. So, how how do I pay you? How much do I pay you for this?
So the seller actually pays the buyer agent commission, so I'm free for you to use.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So you don't have to worry about that. And most for sale by owners know that the buyer of their home is going to be represented, since it is free
Okay.
for buyers to use buyer agents. So they're
Okay.
already familiar with that process. They just
Okay.
don't want to have a listing agent work for
Okay.
them. So I'll call and make sure that they're okay with paying my portion of the commission, and
Okay.
usually they are, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Oh, good. Okay, great.
Awesome. Okay, so any questions about looking at homes?
No, I'm excited.
Awesome, yeah. So again, we're going to go back to pre-approval first.
Yep. Okay.
I'm going to get your search set up today, and you're going to
Yep.
start marking those houses with hearts that we want to go look at,
Okay.
and start narrowing that list down by the end of the week,
Okay.
so that we have a list ready to go for the weekend that you want to go look
Okay.
at.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. So now we're going to talk about making offers. So now we've looked
Okay.
at the house. It's
Yep.
the one.
Yep.
What do we do now?
What do we do now?
So what we're going to do is I'm going to do what's called a CMA, which stands for Comparative Market Analysis.
Okay.
And so when you tell me, Amanda, I'm going to make an offer on 123 Main Street, I'm going to look at all the houses in that neighborhood that have
Okay.
sold in the past 6 months,
Okay.
that are roughly the same size, roughly
Okay.
same year built, and
Okay.
roughly same condition, meaning it's been updated and it hasn't been touched since 1950. We want the updated one, if the
Okay,
one,
yes.
so if one we're looking at is also updated. Okay. And I'm going to give you an idea if the house is priced accurately,
Okay.
overpriced, or underpriced.
Okay.
And that's going to give us a better idea of where we need to come in on our offer.
Okay.
I'm
Sounds
also
good.
going to give you the seller's disclosures, which is just a 5-page notification to you from
Okay.
the seller of everything that they know of the house, as far as what features it has,
Okay.
the age of the roof, if they've ever done any work to the home,
Okay.
if it has any ongoing issues that they're aware
Okay.
of. They'll put all of that on the seller's disclosure, so I'll give that
Okay.
to you to review as well.
Okay. That sounds
I'm
good.
also going to find out if the home has a survey. So do you know what a survey is?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so a survey is a piece of paper with a drawing of like the house. This is where the house is.
Okay.
This is where your property lines are. This is your
Okay.
driveway. Here's the street, and here's like the utility easement in the back or utility easement in the front. And it's just a piece of paper that has all that drawn out,
Okay.
and it is required since you're financing the home.
Okay.
So I asked that in advance to find out if the seller has one,
Okay.
because if they don't, then that may be an added expense of $300 that you would have to
Okay.
factor in
Oh,
on your end,
okay.
because typically the buyer has to pay for the survey.
Okay.
So
Okay,
I like to
great.
find that out up front as well.
Okay.
I also find out if we're in multiple offers, and if
Okay.
the sellers have set any deadlines of when we need to
Okay.
submit our offer.
And is that happening a lot?
Yes, in this price point and in this
Okay.
area, yes, we are still very much in a
Okay.
seller's market.
Okay.
So I'm gonna switch gears. That's kind of what we do before we make the offer. We sit down and
Okay.
hash all that out, and I get all
Okay.
that information to you in advance.
Okay.
And then once we make the offer, if it isn't a multiple offer situation, we do have a few strategies that we can go
Okay.
into if we need to make our offer stand out above some of the other
Okay.
offers that are there, that
Perfect.
are out there.
Okay, good.
So, one of the things that we're gonna do is there's something called earnest money with your offer.
Okay.
That you basically are telling them, if you accept my offer, I'm gonna put down this much money. It's held with the
Okay.
title company.
Okay.
And if I fulfill this by contract, I'm gonna get that money credited back to me at closing. Just like a security deposit on an apartment, you give it to them, you move out, you leave it in good shape, you
Okay.
get it back.
Okay.
It's kind of the same thing. You put it down on the contract, you fulfill your
Right.
contract, and you get it back at closing in the form of a credit.
Okay.
So in this market, it's around 1%. That's pretty
Okay.
traditional of what
Okay.
we put down for earnest
Okay.
money. But if we're in multiple offers, we may increase that a little bit. Maybe
Okay.
we do 1.5%. Maybe we do 2%.
Okay.
It's all just going to depend on the situation and what you're
Okay.
comfortable with.
Okay.
And that just shows the seller that we're very motivated because
Okay.
we're doing over what the normal,
Okay.
what the standard would be, so to speak.
Okay.
So we also have what's called an option period. So once we go under contract, we have an inspection period. It's
Okay.
usually 7 days.
Okay.
You hire your home inspector, and he
Okay.
goes out and gives you the report. Then we negotiate
Okay.
repairs with the seller, and so that we know that this is a good home and that any major issues will get taken care of by the seller. We do
Okay.
all those negotiations within the option period.
Okay.
And so you also have to pay the seller what's called an option fee.
Okay.
Okay, and so that is typically $100 that we pay to the seller.
Okay.
But if we really want this home, we may offer to pay more than $100,
Okay.
or we may shorten our option period from 7 days to say 5 days.
Wow. Okay.
To show again the seller that we're very motivated, we want this house, we're going to give you a
Okay.
little bit more money, and we're going to shorten our option period a little
Okay.
bit. It'll all just depend on the situation if we're comfortable doing
Okay.
that or not. But really, what it boils down to is anytime during your option period, you can back out and you can get your
Okay.
earnest money back. However, you do not
Okay.
get your option fee back if we back out during the option period.
Okay.
So you want to keep that in mind. If we're going to be going above the $100, what do you feel comfortable with? Is it 150, 200?
Okay.
We'll discuss that when the time comes.
Okay. Okay.
So also when it comes to multiple offers, we can also do a couple of things that make our offers stand out. So there's something called title policy insurance.
Okay.
Are you familiar with what that is?
I'm not.
Okay, so you pay for a one-time fee for an insurance policy on your title whenever
Okay.
you purchase a home, and it's
Okay.
required for you to do that if you're financing. It has to be.
Okay.
And so that is on the contract as a negotiated fee.
Okay.
So either you can pay it or the seller can pay it.
Okay.
Traditionally, the seller has paid the title policy.
Okay.
But in this market now, more
Right.
buyers are offering to pay that to make their
Oh.
offer again better
Okay.
than some of the others.
Okay. Gotcha.
And so what that entails is a little less than 1% of the sales price. So if we're looking at 200,000, it's possibly going to be somewhere around $1,700 to $1,800, maybe even
Okay.
a little less than that.
Okay.
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 So that's something else that we can offer to do for the
Okay.
seller to make our offer a little bit better
Okay.
amongst the multiple
Sure.
offers. Okay.
Okay, you're the expert.
So the last thing I'm going to talk about is lease backs.
Lease backs. What's
Yes.
that?
So typically, a seller, when they're selling their house, they're purchasing another one.
Right.
And so they need the proceeds from the sale of their home in order to purchase the next one.
Okay.
So that means that we'll go to the closing table and you will become the legal owner of the home that day.
Okay.
But then they need to take those proceeds and close on their next home.
Okay.
So they may need a couple of days to close on their next home, get access to the next home, get everything out of the house and all that good stuff so that they can move into their next home. Sometimes they need
Okay.
a couple of days to do that. So
Okay.
we would offer them a courtesy lease back 3 to 5 days at the most
Okay.
to close on this home and then close on their new home.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
If it goes any longer than 5 days, like they need 2 weeks, something of that nature, then we would charge a deposit. We would charge a
Okay.
daily rent rate based on your monthly mortgage. But it's normal in this market
Okay.
to do just a courtesy offer, a courtesy lease
Okay.
back. And if we're open to that and we're able to do that, then that also could set our offer above
Okay.
the rest.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
that sounds good.
Great. All right. So again, it's all just going to depend on the house. We may not do
Okay.
that on every house that we encounter, especially if it's been sitting on the market for a few
Okay.
weeks. It's only going to be the ones in multiple offers where we may need to utilize one of those strategies or a few of them, just
Okay.
depending on the situation.
Wow, there's a lot. There's a lot to
And
this.
don't worry, we will go back over this when the time comes. And I
Okay.
will review all of this with you
Okay.
again as we're going
'Cause-
through the process.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yes.
There's a
I just want
lot.
to put these in your mind so that you
Okay.
know. Okay? So let's say now we beat out all the other offers out there and we are now
Okay.
under contract.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And so now our option period starts because we're under contract.
Okay.
So we need to get our earnest money submitted to title. We need to get the
Okay.
option fees submitted to the seller. And we also need to set up our home inspection.
Okay, wow. And do you have some?
I
can
do.
You, okay, if you can help me with
I
that.
have 3 or 4 that I recommend. And
Okay.
so after we go under contract, you'll get an email. Hey, congratulations. Here's who you make your earnest money out to. And this is the amount. Here's who you make your option fee out to. And here's the amount. And
Okay.
then here's the list of inspectors that we recommend. And then also you can do a quick Google search and find another inspector if you prefer to
Okay.
go or have a
If
friend
you've
that can
got
recommend
one,
someone.
If you've got
Right.
one, that's awesome.
So the cost for that's probably going to be around $300 to $350. I wouldn't think it'd be
Okay.
much more than that for a home of this size.
Okay.
And so they're going to go through and they're going to do a top to bottom inspection of the home.
Oh, okay.
And then they're going to give us a report at the end that tells us everything that's wrong with the house.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
It's going to be overwhelming, but don't worry. We're going to sit down and we're going to go through it together.
Okay.
If you have any questions for the inspector, we will get the inspector involved for questions.
Sure.
But
okay.
we're going to focus on 5 things. Okay?
Okay.
We're going to focus on foundation. We're going to
Foundation,
focus
sure.
on roof.
Yeah.
We're going to focus on electrical,
Okay.
plumbing,
Okay.
and then the heating and cooling system.
Okay.
All right, so those 5 things are going to be the top things that we're going to be
Okay.
concerned about.
Okay.
So if he says that we need to get a foundation company out there, we can get a free quote from a foundation company to
Okay.
take a look at the foundation.
Sure.
If he thinks that there's roof damage, from a hailstorm or something of that nature,
Sure.
then we can get a roofer out to inspect and give us
Okay.
a quote on that.
Okay.
And then if, again, with the heating and cooling system or plumbing or electrical, same thing. We're
Okay.
going to get the home inspection done up front so that we have plenty of time to get a second opinion if needed, if there is
Okay.
an issue with any of those 5 things.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. Yes.
And then we're going to ask the seller to repair whatever needs to be repaired
Okay.
based on these 5 things, for
Okay.
sure. If there's any issues with those 5 things, we'll ask the seller to take care of them. If
Okay.
there's anything a little extra that we want to throw in to try and get repaired, we can do that, but definitely these 5 things we're going to ask
Okay.
the seller to take care of,
Okay.
okay?
Yep.
Or if it's just a situation you don't feel comfortable, again, we're in our option period and we can back out if we think it's too big of a foundation problem or something of that
Okay.
nature, then we can back out. But that's what the
Okay.
home inspector's for, is to let us know, here's what's going on,
Yes.
and then we're gonna ask the seller to repair what he thinks,
Okay.
and plus the licensed people think needs to be corrected. Does that
Okay.
make sense?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we send our repairs to the seller, and then the seller can either fix everything,
Yes.
fix nothing,
Okay.
fix a few things, but not
Okay.
all of them, or
Okay.
give us cash in lieu of repairs.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
So they cannot write Brenda a check for the repairs.
Okay.
They have to come out of either your closing costs or your sales price, whichever you decide.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So they may not fix those items, but there'll be less money that you'll have to bring to closing that you can use to fix those items after you move into the home.
Okay.
Does that make
Okay,
sense?
Yeah.
And that's all gonna determine what exactly is wrong with the home
Okay.
before we may not accept that. We may ask them to repair the foundation or put a new roof on the house. It's just
Okay.
gonna depend on the situation, on
Okay.
how we negotiate that out.
Sure. Okay.
Okay? So all of that has to be done within the option period, so we
Okay.
wanna make sure that we get everything done as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, and you're gonna remind
And
me.
I'm
of
gonna
this when we
remind
get
you
there.
every step of the way.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's say we've gone through our repairs and they've agreed to fix what we want them to fix, and now we're moving on to appraisal, okay?
Okay. And what's that?
So the appraisal is, an appraiser will come out, they're sent out by your lender
Okay.
to review the home, and they're gonna
Okay.
do kinda like what I said with the CMA, only it's gonna be way more in depth, and then
Okay.
they're gonna determine the value of your home.
Okay.
And that is the amount of money that the bank will loan you.
Okay.
So whatever the appraiser says the home is worth is the amount of money that the bank says that they will finance your home.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that's why it's important that we do our homework up front to see what other homes in the area are selling for,
Okay.
because that's where the appraiser gets his information as well.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure.
So hopefully, the home appraises for what we offer. Let's say we offer
Okay.
200,000. Hopefully, it appraises for 200,000, and
Okay.
yay, we bought it for what it's worth.
Okay. Okay.
Hopefully, if it appraises for over that, then yay, you have equity.
Okay.
And when you close,
That would be awesome.
the only thing we need to be concerned about is if it appraises for under
Oh.
what we offered. That's just another opportunity for
That
us to
happens.
negotiate with the seller to
Okay.
get the price down to appraised value.
Okay.
So I will make sure that you either with through the FHA loan, which has built-in protection for low appraisals, or
Okay.
through an addendum with our contract for the conventional loan,
Okay.
I will protect you to make sure that if the seller does not work with us to get you down to appraised value, that you have the right to terminate the contract and get your earnest money back.
Okay. Wow.
Okay?
Okay.
So do you have any questions about the inspection or appraisal period?
Oh my gosh. There's a lot. There's a lot to this.
There is a lot to it.
I'm sure I'm gonna have questions as we go through it, but
Absolutely.
I trust you. You come
I
highly
will
recommended.
definitely,
So
I will definitely keep you in the loop on every little thing that's going on through the
Okay.
process.
Okay. Yes.
So now we're gonna get through appraisal, and we appraised,
Okay.
and we're gonna go into the quiet period, okay? And so what that means is that title's doing what they need to do, and the lender's doing what they need to do to finalize your loan,
Okay.
and finalize your title, and we
Okay.
go to closing.
Okay.
So,
And how
hopefully-
long does all that
Sure,
take?
so from the time we go under contract till closing, it takes about 30 to 45 days.
Okay.
So the whole process from start to finish, I say give us 60 days, which is
Okay.
great for you to be now
Yeah,
at the end of
yeah.
March to start the process.
Yeah.
Because April will be here before you know it.
Yeah.
And so you just want to make sure that we give ourselves time to find the right home.
Okay.
Well, first to get you pre-approved, then time
Okay.
to find the right home, which shouldn't take more than a week or so. A
Okay.
couple times looking, and we
Okay.
should be under contract.
Okay.
And then the time for us to close and get you
Okay.
into your new home before the end of June.
Okay, that'd be great.
And so the important thing to remember is that there is about a 30-day delay on mortgage payments. So let's say we go under contract in April,
Okay.
your first mortgage payment will not be until June. It skips May.
Okay.
We close in May, your
Okay.
first mortgage payment won't be until July. So do
Ah.
keep that in mind if
Okay.
you're concerned about any kind of overlap.
Okay.
So ideally, we would like to go in under contract in May
Yeah.
so that you're not paying for both places.
Well, and it would be nice if I could close like in the middle of June, and then I could have a couple
of weeks
to
get
move
in
out
and
of my
have it in one
apartment.
place.
Yeah,
out
that
of one
would be-
place and into the next.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that'd be kind of nice.
So the last thing that I want to talk to you about is our team. So I
Okay.
am a member of a team, and what that
Okay.
the benefits you is that I have showing agents dedicated to me to help
Okay.
me show when I am not available. So on the
Okay.
evenings and weekends, especially when I'm at home with my son, or I'm on the weekends when I'm doing open houses or holding buyer consultations, my showing agents are showing my
Okay.
clients.
Okay.
It is important in the seller's market that when a
Okay.
home comes on the market that you see it as soon as possible.
Okay.
And sometimes I'm not always able to be there whenever
Right.
you need me to be there, but my showing agents can.
Okay.
The Davis team has a 24-hour guarantee that you'll get a home within 24 hours. So
Okay.
same day or the next day we will get you into the home to
Okay.
look at it through our showing
Okay.
agents. Our showing agents are all licensed just like we are,
Okay.
and they'll give you the information sheet on the home from the MLS
Okay.
and answer any questions that you have while you're looking at
Right.
the house based
Okay.
on the MLS sheet. But then if you decide you want to make an offer, all that comes back to me to do all the
Okay.
negotiations on your behalf. So I'll be looped back in at the end, and then
Okay.
I'll take it from there to do the CMA and prepare the contract and negotiate it for you.
Okay.
They're just simply there to let you into the home to look at it.
Okay.
Does that make
sounds
sense?
Great. That sounds great.
Awesome, great. You're gonna love our showing agents. They're awesome. Everyone
Okay.
loves them.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So also once we go under contract, then our transaction coordinator Charles will also come into the picture
Okay.
and start helping me and helping you keep on pace so that we close on time. So if somebody's requesting a document, he may send you an email,
Okay.
or he sends informational emails every now and then just to
Okay.
keep us all on track for closing.
Sure.
Okay,
Okay, good.
great. So I want to give you this magnet today. This is our
Okay.
magnet from our team that talks
Okay.
about the home buying process. So while
Okay.
this whole time I've been telling you about
Okay.
the different steps, they're actually listed right
Oh,
here
wow.
for you.
Okay.
So at any point, if you ever get stuck and you're wondering what's next, pop this on your fridge and it will
Oh.
keep you on track on where we're at in the process and what's
Okay.
next.
This is awesome.
And
Okay.
once we're done and you're moving and you don't need this anymore, then you can share this with a friend.
Okay. Sounds
And
great.
hopefully refer them to us to help us
Ah.
let us help them buy their next home.
Okay.
All right, Brenda, so do you have any other questions for me today?
Oh my gosh, my brain is full. If you will just send me the information for the lenders, I will
Yes.
get started.
Absolutely. Step 1, I will get you that information.
Okay.
Step 2, I'm
Step
going to send
two.
you some paperwork
Yes,
to sign
okay.
today.
Oh, okay.
So we can go over
Sure.
that if you have any questions, but today I'm going to ask you to sign what's called a buyer representation agreement.
Okay.
And that's going to be saying that I am your dedicated agent and that you
Okay.
will be working with me to help you through the process of purchasing a home.
Okay.
So I'm going to send that to you electronically to sign through email, and a few
Okay.
other documents as well. One is
Okay.
information about brokerage services, just talks about what different types of representation are. It's just for your information.
Okay.
And then the buyer representation agreement's about 4 pages long.
Okay.
And so if you have any questions about it, please feel free to give me a call.
Okay.
All right?
Sounds good.
Great. And then also
Okay.
get you set up on your search and start sending you homes.
Sounds awesome.
So I think, Brenda, if you can get on top of this, since
Yeah.
today is Tuesday, if
Yeah.
you can get on top of this and get to those lenders called, we could be looking at homes and writing contracts as early as Saturday.
Okay. Let's aim for that.
Let's.
Okay.
So what time works best for you on Saturday to start looking? I want to go ahead and reserve a showing agent.
Oh, you know what? 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah.
Great. So I'll go ahead and find a showing agent that's available for 9 a.m. on Saturday,
Okay.
and we're going to work to get you ready to go by that day.
That sounds great.
All right. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Brenda.
Thanks
Again,
so
have
much.
a great day.
Bye.
Bye.